welcome, Somi. This is my first INTERVoIP interview by VoIP transmission. And so I'm very glad to tell all people who will see us that you are the first person, and I'm glad that you are the first person for this interview. So
okay.
I don't want to lose time because I should like to ask you lots of questions, but I will try to be just to tell a few questions. So just one name, Somi Arian.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, the girls came from Iran.
Yeah.
Ran out of ancient patriarchal system to go to Europe, to a modern way of life, of thinking, but always in mind and in heart linked to your native country. Am I wrong?
Yes. I mean, I think I see myself as kind of a citizen of the world. I don't think it I don't think it really matters where you come from. I think you know, it's more about the connection that we have through music, and you know, if I can sing about things that people can somehow relate to, even if there's stuff that people have not necessarily in the West, they might not have necessarily experience, but we all have, you know, my lyrics are kind of general. So, for instance, when I talk about, say, oppression, it doesn't necessarily mean oppression just in the Middle East or where I come from, you know. We all experience a form of that sort of attitude, behavior from, you know, the people around us in our daily lives. So I try to keep my lyrics rather general so that everybody can relate to in their experiences. Yeah.
That's right. Angers, what the famous in the song "Discipline and Distortion," Mortad, and all in your lyrics is quite visible. A kind of anger by arts to express kind of violent, artistic violence against a kind of oppression, mind oppression.
That's true. And the thing is, you know, what I'm talking about in discipline distortion, it initiated with my frustration with systems of education, and the way that systems of education patronize you and kind of kill your creativity a lot of times, and don't really allow you to, you know, to just use your creativity in expressing yourself artistically, or you know, even in many cases scientifically, you know, and I think that also applies to other systems, other kinds of systems, of, you know, political systems, and any kind of a system of control where they want to just try and use various, you know, rules and regulations to stop people from really expressing themselves and growing as human beings creatively. So it's very funny when I talk about systems of education and my frustration with them. If you know that I've actually been educated both in the UK and you know, in Iran. I've got 2 masters in political science and political philosophy. I just put my PhD on hold so that I could follow up my passion in music. And you know, I think a lot of times it doesn't necessarily mean that you should, you know, you shouldn't go to school. That's not what I'm saying to people, because the fact that I come from this sort of...
I totally agree with you, and I suppose that to have a good and strong reaction against what is a mind oppression, a system is in the mind more than in a political, like in Middle East and other situation all over the world, as you speak before. I suppose you must be healthy not only in mind but also in also physically. So that's the reason why I suppose you are also taking care of your health, your fitness model. I saw some videos about how do you explain to make correct exercises. Rather than have a correct kind of life, healthy physique, healthy mind. You have 2 master degrees in political philosophy. I read something about your biography. So to give a hard fist, intellectual, artistic sense against oppression, you show your strength in music, but behind you there's a great instruction and a physical and cultural instruction and education in 360 degrees. Am I correct?
Yeah, there's many sides to me. That's one of the reasons why I don't necessarily, maybe if somebody sees me, maybe I don't necessarily look like a metal fan or something like that. I don't have maybe tattoos or piercings or whatever. I think that's part of my mental freedom. I absolutely respect everyone who chooses to have that sort of attributes, but it's just something that I've never felt, as of yet, I've never felt the need, or the inclination sort of to do that. So that's why, because I have so many sides to me. I like exercising, I take care of myself. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do any kind of drugs, these are a lot of things that are very much the typical thing that people expect to see, the typical subculture of what
she's
people...
a mad woman. She drinks, she smokes marijuana, maybe. No, she's
no, that's not okay. No. So no, I don't do any of those things that are famous in the rock and roll industry. But I just have a feeling, I just love heavy music. That's all. I like fast and heavy music, and I like distorted vocals and music, and it's just something that comes to me naturally. I just feel like screaming. I think I was born a screamer.
I understand very well, because I was a singer, metal singer too. So I understand what is beautiful, is wonderful when you're on the stage and see a lot of people, excited. Waiting for the next song, and you are going to introduce next song as discipline and distortion, and so you see all people who knows your songs. That is, I suppose, in my little experience was very, very, very nice, a local experience. For you, I suppose, would be bigger, huger.
Yeah, absolutely, because I come from a place where this sort of music is frowned upon and banned, and for me to be able to stand on a metal stage is itself a privilege. So whether how far I can take it, it's something about the future. Is I can only have under control, as far as what I put into it is concerned, but there are many other circumstances that are out of my hands. But I know what my passion is, and I know what I want to achieve, and I'm absolutely sure that, from my point of view, anything that needs to be done will be done for that to become a success. But just to be able to stand on a metal stage is itself a privilege for me.